What's up, guys? Welcome back to Almost Functional 40K. Today I'm going to be doing an interview with Stephen Henry from Dice Hard Games. So I'll go ahead and bring him on in. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. How about you?
I'm doing good. So Stephen plays mostly at a store called Game Garrison here in Fredericksburg, where I currently am in Virginia now. So just starting to get in with their team. He's one of the better players in the area. So you want to tell us a little about yourself, Stephen?
Yeah, you want me to kind of just explain what I play or kind of the little bit of background that I have or
Yeah, sure. When did you get into 40K?
I've been playing 40K for probably the better part of almost 2 decades now. I got into it when I was in middle school. I remember looking at all the fun sci-fi elements that they had online and being super enthralled with the setting and the miniatures. And originally, when I got into it, I didn't even know that there was a game associated with it. I just loved the artwork and the models that I had seen online. And uh, eventually, we ended up finding somebody else who played the game, and we got led into the Game Garrison, which was the Game Vault at the time, but has since rebranded, and we've been I've been playing ever since. So yeah, about 2 decades or so.
Nice. So what would it have been about fourth edition, third edition?
I think I got in the middle of fifth edition,
Ah,
or maybe at the beginning. I don't know exactly when fifth started, but I do remember playing in fifth edition.
gotcha. Now you make me feel old. I've been playing since second.
Oh, hey man, I still remember some of the really fun rules they used to have. Armor facings, and
Oh
you
yeah.
couldn't charge something you didn't shoot at. Just all the fun, antiquated rules that 40K used to have.
Yep. So what was your first army?
Oh man, the first full army that I had, or like the first miniatures that I got.
Just the first army you started playing with. Like what was your favorite when you first started?
Well, so the first models I got were Space Marine Terminators and Tau Fire Warriors because I didn't know that there were different factions in 40K. I just thought they looked cool. The first army that I owned, though, was Space Marines. Specifically, I got a friend to paint up a bunch of Black Templars for me. So I had, I think, a bunch of Assault on Blackreach Space Marines, and they were all painted in the black and white of the Templars.
Oh, nice. All right. And so how long until you started playing competitively?
Oh man, that definitely came a little bit later into the 40K journey. Um, I would say probably competitively about a decade, but it was definitely not good competitive for me on that time. I've been doing kind of a lot harder, higher end competitive for maybe about the past 3 to 5 years or so. But I've been playing at tournaments for about a decade.
Yep. Yeah, most of us are kind of at the bottom of the tournament scene when we start. It's a big adjustment from just playing with your friends.
What? And people don't just automatically start winning tournaments and GTS? That's crazy, man.
Not unless you're Siegler.
Well, not everybody can be a machine, man.
Yep. All right. So tell me a little about Dice Hard, the gaming crew you guys got here.
Yeah, so like I said, as we've been, let me get the focused a bit more. We've been playing more competitive, and like I said, at the higher ends of the competitive spectrum for about the past 3 to 5 ish years. And over the course of those 3 to 5 years, we've been garnering a big team of players. Most of it is the locals who come out to the Game Garrison, and we have another store down the street called Your Hobby Place. But we've been going to larger events. There it goes again. We've been going to larger events for the past 2 years proper. Or we've been going out to like Tennessee. We've gone to New York a couple of times. We're planning on going to Tampa this year. So as we've been growing our team competitively, oh,
Yeah. And
we've been growing it competitively. Oh, something just happened. You still good on your end?
yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
But as we've been growing it competitively, we wanted to start a proper team. And we've gone through a couple of different iterations, but we've settled on Dice Hard, and we're trying to really push this as our kind of next step in our competitive journey for the team.
Yeah. And if those who saw the interview a couple weeks ago, Ryan Lappin, who won Best General at ATC, is also on the Dice Hard team.
My boy, yeah, he's been running the rounds lately. He's getting a lot of praises from like JD and them. So yeah, he's doing our team quite proud right now, man.
Yep, and they've actually just recently let me join the team, so the team really doesn't have too high standards apparently, but
No, we kind of just let anybody in at this point. Mostly it's a way to bribe a YouTube creator so we can get on the good side of YouTube right now.
yes. Yeah, so I've only helped. They're going to be starting a YouTube channel probably coming up after Nova.
Oh, speaking of,
Yeah,
would you like to talk about Nova?
as I say, speaking of Nova, you and I are both going. I already did a video on the Space Wolf list I'm working on. What are you taking to Nova?
I'll be doing the good old boys of the Astra Militarum. So we've been running a lot of different lists in the past like year or so. I mostly am a Custody player. That's my main faction, but we've been trying to branch out and do a lot of different factions right now as a team. And I wanted to focus on the Astra Mill. So I'm doing a bunch of tanks. I've got a bunch of dudes. I've got a bunch of horses and Bullgren and stuff. I got all the Astra Mill fun toys.
Yeah, I was on the bad end of getting triple dorned by you about a week or two ago.
Triple Dorn it's a list that exists. I've got some issues with it, especially on the terrain that they're going to be having at Nova. But yeah, we can do an in-depth build of the list, or kind of just general thoughts, or anything you'd like.
Yeah, if you want to just give a quick rundown of the list and like why you think it's good in GW or these missions, or like specifically why you think this is a list worth taking to Nova.
Yeah, of course. So, kind of just an intro to Guard for those who may not be aware. They're a very good shooty army, and they are a very durable army. A lot of two-up armor saves, a pretty decent amount of like invulnerable saves, and their orders make them very flexible on the tabletop. So that brings a lot of very good aspects to GW terrain specifically, because you're going to see a lot of open fields for lanes. So range firepower is going to be important, but it's also not going to be so open that like melee is not going to be able to be good at all. So you still want like the anvil and the hammer units in your army. So the specific list that I'm bringing is two Dorn, two tank commanders, Leontis with an infantry unit with platoon command squad, Gaunt's Ghosts, a unit of Rough Riders, triple Hellhound, because two up armors you can't have enough of those. Two bricks of Scions, a unit of 6 Bullgren with invos, and I believe that's everything. So the general thought of the list is you've got your hammer units, like I said. You've got the two Dorns, you've got the two tank commanders, you've got your melee bricks, the horses, and the Bullgren. They can get in the way, they can screen very effectively. You've got the Hellhounds that are very cheap 2-up armor saves. You can screen with them, they can go forward and complete actions for a cheap unit. So I built this list very much with the versatility in mind, to be able to tackle kind of anything you're going to see at Nova. Because I imagine we're going to see quite a lot of lists. I'd actually kind of like to see maybe your 2 cents on what lists you might see at Nova, but we can kind of discuss that a bit further too.
Yeah, well, the nice thing about the meta right now is almost everything is decently good, so you should hopefully have a good variety. But I tend to see at the events I've been going to a lot of Blood Angels, and Eldar are starting to seem to come back a little more. And then the event I was just at last weekend had 2 Grey Knights that were undefeated until the last round.
Yeah, Grey Knights are in a very good spot right now. I think I agree. Most of the factions are either very good, or still playable. We did a competitive ranking breakdown on most of the factions right as soon as Pariah released. We got some initial thoughts on it, and like I think the worst factions we placed were like in the C tier, which bodes pretty well for where we are right now. And we placed like most of them in A, B tier. So like I don't think anybody's stomping, but I think a lot of armies are being able to be in a good position to play well toward the higher end.
Yeah. Oh, and Thousand Suns. You definitely going to see Thousand Suns.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, my predictions for what the armies that have the greatest chance at doing it Nova are going to be like Thousand Suns, Sisters. I still think Black Templars, if you're running it as a very good Black Templar player, shout out to Ryan Lappin again. I think Knights even have some really good play in like singles, just being able to Kool-Aid Man and still shoot and do actions and stuff. Like honestly, but like you said, Eldar, okay, like man, like I'm bringing Astra Mill, so like there's a lot of armies that could do very well. But yeah, I think Necrons, Thousand Suns, Sisters of Battle, probably going to be on the higher end.
I think it's interesting too. They're doing layout 1 for all 3 games day 1, So I think that's going to favor combat armies, but I
Hmm.
think day 2 and 3 are going to favor shooting armies. So that's going to be kind of a
Oh,
weird.
you think that's going to be a way of kind of like separating the wheat from the chaff early on?
Well, not necessarily away from the chaff. I just think, say they did layout 1, day 3. I think like Blood Angel stuff like that would do a lot worse if
Hmm.
they had to do the 2 shooty days round 1.
Oh, I get you. Maybe it's a way of kind of like boosting the melee armies.
Yeah, because I think after the first 5 rounds they go to brackets.
Yeah, I believe it's the second game of day 2. So yeah, that'd be round 5 at that point.
Yeah, so this is good. So before brackets, you're gonna get 3 combat beneficial table and 2 shooty. But then when brackets start, it's gonna be 4 shooty layouts.
I mean, while I do agree that like layout 1 does favor melee in mid board, I think layout 1 is also deceptively open as well. I've played on
Yeah.
it a lot, and one of the big changes that just happened with Pariah specifically is the L that you have in the corner building down in like the left hand corner now has a wider gap. So
Hmm.
stuff like I believe it's like Lehman Russes. I think Land Raiders can fit through now. I believe what they're doing at Nova specifically is going to be about 4.5 inch gap.
Hmm.
So like Dorns can't, but a lot of other shooty platforms can now just walk through that. So
Yep.
if you're playing a melee army and you're bunkering up behind the midboard elves, if you're not being careful with spacing, or if your opponent can screen very effectively, you can get punished by some ranged armies pretty aggressively.
Yep. Yeah, I would agree with that. I just say 4 and 6 are just
Much open, much more
much
open.
more open, much harder. So combat armors have their best chance on 1, but yeah, you're not going to get shot.
Right. I think it will just again kind of depend on what it is. So like Blood Angels, like you're saying, I think are going to be probably one of the better melee armies because they have the speed, they have the hammer to actually kill what they touch. But if they're not bringing like the range support or the peace trading units to be able to like score early on,
Hmm.
I think they will suffer on like the last 2 days a little bit more aggressively than the first.
Yep, I agree.
Hmm.
All right. And so, how many times have you been to Nova?
Oh, this is going to be our third time going as a team. I think this will be my fourth time going overall. We had great time the last few years that we had gone. It's just a wonderful crowd out there. Like it's a very, very welcoming environment. The people out there, the judges do a spectacular job. It's real good vibes all around. But it's one of the biggest 40K events in the world, isn't it? Isn't it like top 5?
Yeah, it used to be number 1 for a long time, but then like
LVO take it over.
Adepticon is big. LVO is now, I think, the biggest,
Hmm.
and as the team tournaments start to take off, they're going to give it some threat. But yeah, it was one of, if not the biggest, for a long time.
Oh, speaking of team events and stuff, we do plan on taking Dicehard to the team event that happens the day before the GT proper. So we're preparing a lot of different lists right now. We're preparing a lot of different play styles. But yeah, man, like Nova was super great the last couple of years we had gone, and unless something hugely bad happens this year, which we don't plan on, but like I plan on going. I know the team plans on going for hopefully the foreseeable future, man.
Well, because right here in Virginia, it's a nice, easy commute to it. So it's you're going to hit one. That's a good one to hit.
Oh yeah, we're super lucky to be in this area. We've gone down to, like I said, Georgia. We've gone up to New York a couple of times. We've even gone out to Rocky Top over in Tennessee. So like the convenience of only like an hour drive is
Hmm.
very nice to have.
Yeah, I just drove down to a GT in Florida, 15 hours last weekend representing Dice Hard.
Hey man, we plan on doing the Tampa one coming up at
Yep.
what is that, the second weekend of October, I
Yep.
believe.
Yep. And I got to get you guys out to LVO. That's one of the coolest tournaments.
Oh, LVO was super fun when we did that the first year, man. Like it's a bit expensive, but
Oh,
like if you can manage it at least once in your lifetime, like just going out to Vegas is already really fun for just that aspect. And
oh yeah.
yeah, I believe LVO at this point is now the biggest 40K event in the world.
Oh yeah, yeah. And if they ever transfer into team tournament heavily, like a lot of events are, as I think 40K is going to start heading that way, it'd be definitely worth heading out there as a team.
Oof, yeah, you can get a nice hotel price. You can all book a flight together. Like that'll help save everybody a bit of money, man. Yeah, that'd be really cool in the future.
Yeah, we did that the last time I went. We stayed more downtown in like the cheaper area and just
Hmm.
took an Uber up, and it really wasn't that bad.
That's fair. I did the maybe the noob way of doing it. We just stayed at the Rio last time they hosted it. That was, I think, 2 years ago. Technically, it was the 2023 LVO, but of 2022. So it was, I believe it was that year that I had gone, and the convenience of staying at the Rio was really nice, but it's a lot more expensive, and you still are walking around, and you're paying for all the more expensive food and stuff. So like, there are pros and cons of staying in or out of it.
Yeah, I think the first couple of years it was at Bally's. We stayed there, and we just got a cot, and so 3 of us split a room, which was a little helpful.
No, yeah. Anytime you're doing these major events, if you're going with some friends, always try and split that space, man.
Yep.
Saves everybody some money. You can carpool, saves you even more money. Like, I know nobody's ever said this about 40K before, but it's not a cheap hobby to be in. I know
No.
going to be super controversial here in saying that, but like, anytime you can save on the travel expenses, the food expenses, the room and board expenses, like, that's more money in your pocket that you can give over to GW proper and get all the proper models and stuff.
Exactly. All right. Well, that covers no. Is there anything else you want to touch on before we get out of here?
No, I'm super looking forward to hopefully doing this YouTube stuff a little bit more long term. We're gonna do a lot of collaboration here with Matt, and hopefully start branching out, like he said, and start doing our own channel. Hopefully in the next month or two. But we look very much forward to trying to get into this stuff proper.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna start trying to do some battle reports, some more. Now that I have some more people helping me, we can do more army reviews and stuff, because I only know a couple armies really well. It's hard to do a review on everything. So as
Yeah,
we have
more
more
cheap
and more
labor is
people,
always appreciated, right?
yeah, absolutely. So with a whole team of people that know different armies between the 2 channels, we'll be able to get you guys a lot of good content coming up here soon.
Hey, well, we would greatly appreciate it, man.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and we will catch you guys next time.
Have a good one.